One.
Hello everybody, and welcome in once again. I'm Scott Morris.
I'm Christian Cortez.
And I'm Alex Navarrete.
And we have a great show coming up for you. It's hit that season, it's finals, it's graduation time. I know I'm excited because I'm graduating, but as always, there's a lot of work to be done. And so with that, we'll kind of be going on that trend. We'll be wrapping up this year. A lot has happened within the last, at least this semester, last semester, and everything else. We'll be moving to a new conference in 2 years. So there's really a lot going on. So we're going to wrap all that up here. So this is the playbook. Let's go on and take a closer look. Coming up first on today's show, we're in the midst of baseball season. We're coming up to the close to the end of the season, so we decided why not get some guests. We'll be having Carlos Contreras and Miles Jefferson coming on for a live interview right after this commercial break.
I enjoy seeing kids, regardless of their age, see the light bulb go on and they have that aha moment. In 1997, I started Tomorrow's Promise, the Montessori School of Huntsville, with 3 students. The Small Business Development Center helped me with classes on how to open a business.
We also helped Kay market through social media, website analysis, and develop funding opportunities.
We have grown to 38 teachers and over 220 students.
Third-generation Bearcat Tacey Webb roped her way to a national championship through her hard work and fearless dedication. Trading her saddle for nursing scrubs, Tacey set her sights in another arena, a place where she can champion the needs of others. Since 1879, we've been helping students like Tacey reach their championship potential. Sam Houston State University, a great name in education.
And welcome back, guys, here to the Playbook, as I am here accompanied by 2 baseball players from our Sam Houston Bearcats, Miles Jefferson and then Carlos Contreras. Thank you guys for doing this.
Thank you.
Is this your first time being interviewed?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? You guys look a little bit nervous, so don't be nervous. I won't bite. Thank you guys for being here. I just want to get kind of a quick summary of personal opinion from you guys of how the baseball season has gone for you. Carlos, we'll start with you. What do you think of this season so far?
I think we were learning how to play together as a team. I think we started off a little rough. It's getting a lot better. I think we have a lot of pitching that's missing, and we're starting to figure out how to make it work with the guys that we have, and it's all starting to come together. Our offense is coming together. So I think coming later in the season, we're playing better as a team.
Okay. Miles?
Yeah, I think it's around the same thing because a lot of our pitching's hurt, and the people who have stepped up to come in to pitch, they've done a lot better. They're doing their job. They're giving us a chance to win every single game hitting-wise, and they're not. It's not all on hitting. It's all everyone's coming together and playing together as a team.
This past weekend, you guys had a series against Lamar. Didn't go the way you guys hoped for, or at least we hoped for. But you guys did come off a big win yesterday, still staying in first place in the Southwest Division of the WAC. Talk to me about that series against Lamar. What was the energy as you guys had lost close games Friday and Saturday?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we were really excited to play them because the first time around we lost the series also, and they were also really excited to play us. I feel like you could just tell they had a lot of fans come, which they're pretty far away, so that was a surprise. Yeah. But I mean, it was just 3 really tough games. I feel like each of the game could have gone either way, and it was just first 2 games, some stuff didn't go our way. But I feel like even the third game was really close too, and that one, I didn't feel like at any point we were gonna run away with it. So it was just they're a good team, so it's always fun playing them. It was just pretty intense the whole series. Yeah.
I mean, it's the 2 top teams from the WAC Southwest Division, so I'm assuming for you guys it was just fun getting that taste of competition.
Oh yeah.
Miles, for you, what did it feel like?
Yeah, it's everyone, both teams played very well that weekend, and it's like Carlos said, it could have went either way both times. A lot of times, Friday, Saturday, a lot of things just didn't go our way. At certain plays, we ground into a couple double plays to get us out of some situations, but came around Sunday, and then everything started going a lot better for us. And then we came out on top at the end.
Yeah, that's good. Sticking with you, Miles, I know this year you've been batting an average of 336 with 16 RBIs and 8 stolen bases.
Yeah.
Is there anything mechanically that you have changed throughout the season that you feel that has maybe you took a big step from the beginning to now?
Not really mechanically. I feel like mentally I've gotten a lot better, knowing what teams are trying to do and how they're trying to get me out, and then I've been making adjustments from there. Not really much anything mechanically, just mentally to help with everything.
For you, Carlos, may I say the SFA game? That was pretty amazing for you, going 5 for 5, 9 RBIs with the grand slam. Batting average is 426. How do you feel?
I feel really good. It's just weird this season. It was just it's like everything feels just normal. Usually there's always like a point where you just don't feel off, and I feel like there's been a couple games like that, and it just, I feel like I'm trying hard to not let myself get down or too up, just so I can stay in the same spot all year, and I feel like that's where it's been. And then also like the SFA series, the guys get on base. Every time I come up to bat, there's always guys on base, so it's really fun to hit behind those guys because there's always a chance to drive in runs. So it's really fun to play, like hitting this lineup.
Speaking of driving in runs, you brought in a whole lot of runs this season. I think you're like the top 5 in the WAC division in RBIs. So kudos to you. I know it's always fun going out to watching the baseball games. I was actually there this past weekend for Friday and Saturday doing camera work for ESPN Plus Productions. I know baseball is kind of a superstition type of sport. Is there any superstitions that you guys have?
I personally don't have any. I just try to go out and be the same person every day, because you get too high up, too low, and then you start playing bad and stuff like that. So I just go out there and try to be the same person every day.
Okay, for you, Carlos?
I don't think I have any. I feel like maybe the only thing is like I have to tape my bat a certain way.
Okay.
I feel like if I don't do that, then I can't swing at all.
You're just off.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty cool. The tournament's coming up as well. How do you guys feel going into that? I know you guys have 3 more series. The one against SFA that's coming up. I know you guys have U of H and Sugarland. So what's the mentality going into the closing part of the season?
I mean, I feel like we feel really good. Like we're starting to play really good as a team. We're just trying to get better as we get into the end of the year. I feel like it's happening at the perfect time. Like we're starting to play a lot cleaner baseball, and like this past series I think was really good for us because every game was really close, and I feel like that's the way the conference tournament's going to be. I think there's a lot of good teams on the other side when we're going to see them in Arizona, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun for you.
Yeah, it's like another thing. This weekend was big for us because seeing that competition going into like the end of the year where we're gonna like face way better teams like come conference tournament. I think that's good for us, and especially that we're all coming together and playing a lot better as a team towards the end of the year when it's the most important.
That's pretty cool. So obviously you guys are baseball players, but is there any other sport that you guys follow?
I follow basketball a little bit and football a little bit too as well, but I've been like during baseball season I always focus on like baseball a lot. Yeah.
Okay. For you, Carlos?
Yeah, me too. Mostly baseball. I mean, I like watching like UFC and stuff like that. I'll watch a little bit of basketball too, but I'm not like a crazy fan. Like I can't really get into it. Like I'll get into some baseball games, but that's about it.
That's pretty awesome. All right. What teams do you guys root for?
Football, the Packers, and then basketball, the Bucks. So I'm from
you didn't
Milwaukee.
say the Cowboys. I didn't have to kick you out. I didn't have to kick you out. For you, Carlos?
Football, Steelers, basketball, Thunder.
Thunder. Okay,
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I know my co-hosts appreciate it as well. I finally get to have some real athletes instead of Scott and Christian right next to me. Again, I appreciate it, guys. Good luck this coming up series throughout the end of the season, and good luck in the tournament. This was live interview with Carlos Contreras and Miles Jefferson here at the Playbook, and we'll be right back.
The proud son of hardworking immigrant parents, Eric Rodas chose to serve his country. A father, a soldier, and now a college graduate. He he proved that circumstances have nothing to do with your outcome. Since 1879, we've been helping students like Eric determine their future. Sam Houston State University, a great name in education.
Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home was established in September of 2003. Our partnership with the Small Business Development Center is just like our partnership with other vendors in our community.
We developed a marketing plan, a strategic analysis, as well as social media presence.
If you let them, they can take your dream, put it to paper. That's the way we got started, and 13 years later, we're very happy to be a part of this community.
Okay.
4, 3,
over here
2.
with it.
And that was once again Carlos Contreras and Miles Jefferson. Alex, how you kind of feeling after that?
That was my first live interview, so that was pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But they seemed pretty fun to talk to. They looked nervous as well as I did, but it was fun overall. It was a great experience.
No, for sure, and just having that, baseball being kind of successful, like you said, first in the Southwest Division.
Yes.
Two of our best players, Carlos Contreras, having, I believe, 74 RBIs, something like that, some ridiculous
Wouldn't
number.
be surprised if it was more. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, he did mention it, like it's fun. He did mention that it's fun hitting behind those guys because those guys can get on base, and it's just fun for him. So I guess he takes it as a challenge.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And kind of going with the mood of wrapping things up, we got to talk a little bit about football. This last weekend was the NFL draft, and Sam Houston, they only had one player drafted, which honestly is always a good thing.
Yeah.
But had 3 other players either sign new deals or have be invited to mini camps, the most in school history. Of course, we talked about it a lot. Zion McCollum was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Very exciting, and he's from Galveston. Mike Evans, one of their best players as well, also from Galveston, giving him a little bit of a shout out on Twitter, so that was pretty cool. But of course, the other players we had, his brother Tristan McCollum gets signed to the local Houston Texans.
Down 45.
And a deal for that. Jaquez Ezzard, one of the biggest names in our championship season, getting picked up by the Washington Commanders, coming on as mainly probably a return specialist kind of guy. But a lot of players come up like that, being a return specialist and kind of building away up to wide receiver. He's got that talent, he's got that strength. So, he can do that. And then Joe Wallace, the defensive tackle, has been invited to 2 different mini camps and kind of is deciding on which one to go to, whether it's going to be the Cardinals or the Chiefs. But still, a lot of good things happening for this football program.
I do have to say that, again, you mentioned Zion McCollum, one player from Sam Houston got drafted, more than UT.
Horns down.
But yeah, no, it was amazing to see him just get drafted, see that phone call, because they posted the video on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Twitter page, and then Sam Houston retweeted it. So it was just amazing. His brother, obviously going down 45, down to Houston. That should be amazing. You mentioned Jaquez Ezzard, Commanders. It was a great draft.
Yeah.
Draft for the Bearcats.
Yeah, it was great. People, really for athletes, that's their future. They're doing well, NFL doing great. Sorry. But, it's really great for this program.
Yeah.
It really puts a lot of potential for the future for people that want to come in as a Sam Houston Bearcat, especially for the football team. And it really puts a lot towards our future end as well.
Yeah, it does. And again, I believe Zion being the first player drafted since P.J. Hall back in 2018, kind of a big deal. And kind of going off of that talent, we're moving to Conference USA in 2 years. We're moving from FCS to FBS, and that is a big jump. And there is a lot that has happened. This team, like we said a year ago today actually beat North Dakota State in the playoffs for the first time to go to the semifinals for the FCS playoffs in their championship run. They won their first championship. They were able to really just show out. They came out this year. They had the longest winning streak in college football. Unfortunately falling short to Montana State in the playoffs. However, there is a lot of good things to look forward to this football team, as well as a lot of kind of, up in the air questions. For sure, one thing is that this defense has always been something that the team has really prided itself on. It's always had a good defense. And going into Conference USA, they're going to need that kind of FBS mentality of, higher scoring football and being able to kind of really get down to the basics and getting able to do that. On the flip side of things, with the offense, we're not sure who's going to be playing quarterback. Eric Schmidt has announced his departure from Sam Houston and going to To free agency, looking to possibly get a deal in the CFL, maybe even possibly the USFL, but the talks was CFL for now. So that's going to be a big question. And so Christian, kind of, what's your biggest upside you're looking forward to going forward to Conference USA?
Just trying to do well in conference, just need to do well. But offensively, that's where we really need to get from because, we lost Jaquez Ezzard, Schmid. We're having a good, recruiting class.
Yes, the highest recruiting class in school history.
Yeah, we're doing a great recruiting class. It's just time will tell, really. But, FBS, it's a big jump compared to FCS. It really comes to the crowd having to be there to give them a lot of momentum. It comes to the players, having to train more, having to do well, want to compete. The first year they make the transition, they won't be able to make no bowls, but at the same time, they can still put something in their name to be competitive in the FBS.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, it helps with the recruiting part when you jump from FCS to FBS because obviously there's more eyes on the FBS. I'm just worried that maybe we're making this move too soon, just because we just made the move to WAC.
So this was our first year in the WAC.
Yeah. And right out of the gate, we announced that we're moving conference again. So that worries me. The offense, we lost some key parts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say much about Eric Smith, but he still did deliver a national championship to us.
That he did.
But yeah, no, that worries me that we're going to go up against bigger schools. This next coming up season, we're starting off the season against Texas A&M, big football school.
Yeah.
So that should be fun, and we're going to see what the levels are between top schools and us.
Yeah.
And it's going to be some rough years, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, no, I'm really just looking forward to a new coaching staff. We lost so many coaches.
Yes, we did.
It started with Ryan Cardy on the offense, head to Delaware, taking a lot of people with them, and then just a lot of coaches. We have almost a brand new coaching staff. Of course, Keeler's still here. But, just having a whole new kind of staff behind them, that takes a lot to work with. They went out, they hired the best guys that they believe will make their program better. But it's still going to take time to build that chemistry, build up that kind of repertoire of everybody knowing how everybody works to make it to where, it'd be successful. Like we said, this next year, with the transition, not being playoff eligible, then not being bowl eligible in 2 years, they really have these 2 years to kind of get ready for, the competition that's coming with the FBS as well as playing in it next year and really being able to figure out exactly how they're going to make it work. So I think that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. And we've talked about this before and kind of almost questioning the move. And again, there's pros and cons to it. It's a huge deal. And in the end, truthfully, it probably will benefit Sam Houston. But like you said, Alex, there probably will be some rough years in there.
It's going to be fun and interesting. It's going to be a fun ride. We should enjoy it. We should go to the games, get the crowd going. And I feel like that pumps up the player as well. And yeah, it should be a fun move for us. I know I'll definitely look forward to that A&M game.
Yeah, no. Sure. Yeah, me too. And kind of just speaking of school spirit and stuff, you got to get people out there. I believe Conference USA, it's about a 13,000 person quota. And we've been pushing that all year. Every show we almost end it with go get your school spirit, go get this and that. So we actually had some people go to the streets and kind of find out whether or not, why people aren't going to free events because everything's free. If you're a student, these events are free.
Just show your student ID.
So we had some people go out and kind of talk to Sam Houston students and figure out exactly, what the deal is.
Yeah.
I told you that. Let's go. Let's go. Ooh. Hey. I'm Eric Johnson, and this is Word on the Street. Okay, guys, this is Word on the Street. What's your name?
Alex. Stefania.
Okay, so y'all been to Red Lobster in Texas Roadhouse?
Yeah.
Okay, which has the better biscuits?
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Why? Oh, because they had the honey butter.
They have cheese in the biscuit, bro.
But there's honey.
No, I want no cheese.
There's honey butter.
No cheese.
No, when you spread open the roll, you just slather the honey butter on there. Just
spin move.
That's how you do the spin move. Okay, you been to Red Lobster in Texas Roadhouse?
I've been to both.
Okay, which one has the better biscuits?
I want to say Red Lobster.
Why? Exactly. What?
Red Lobster have better biscuits. I ain't gonna lie.
No, it comes with the butter and.
I gotta go with the old fashioned Red Lobster.
Open up. I'm sorry.
Hey, how are you doing?
Sit right here.
Summer's like,
You been to Red Lobster or no?
no.
They got. Ooh, okay. Which businesses are better?
I don't know. Like I haven't been there frequent enough.
I don't like the Red Lobster ones.
You know, you're the first person that said the right answer. I'm gonna have to give you a high five right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And man, Red Lobster, I'm telling you, you need to go. It would change your
Red
life.
Lobster is good.
You'll change
Biscuits
your
are not
life.
good. But
So, do this. I. Oops, sorry, that's my name. What's your name?
Summer.
I, Summer.
Summer.
Will.
Go.
To.
Red.
Lobster.
Lobster.
How do you think we can improve school spirit?
Just kind of have organizations kind of like out here in the yard.
Be more prominent of like outgoing to all demographics instead of like just, I would say, the majority demographic.
So how can we improve school spirit? And why don't students go to free events? I mean, it's free 99, right?
usually it's because they schedule them right when I'm in the middle of class. Like the prime time to be in the mall area is 11 to 2, but if you have classes in that time, you can't go to the free stuff, or by the time you get there, everything's already gone.
I would just say like more promotion. Like half the time I don't even know about it. And
which one is the better dessert, ice cream or cake?
I want to say ice cream.
Ice cream or cake?
Ice cream.
Okay.
Ice cream.
Doing all the kind of cake. There are some cakes out there that are not.
You know what
great.
that term, you dropped the ball?
I'm
That's
also
what
not
you-
Kristen Caller.
On my way downtown, walking fast, and I'm homebound. Ooh, how long are you standing right there? Anyways. We're on the street, man. What a day, what a day. You feel me? This is We're on the Street. My name's Eric Johnson.
Alex, I know you were happy about that. You've been pushing for your question of Red Lobster biscuits
It's
and
about
Roadhouse.
time.
I know you.
It was about time. I gave them content and they still didn't take it.
They took it now.
Too late.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get back onto the
sports side of the world.
Yeah, to the sports side of things, and kind of wrapping up here. Basketball. We talked a lot about basketball. We were in the height of basketball season, and kind of Christian, I know you're kind of our basketball expert here. You want to talk a little bit about the two teams?
Well, I'd say for the women's side, losing Faith Cook, that was a big part, But, you still got a lot of players in Batista doing well in the post, doing great. Fell a little short. We were able to make the WAC tournament at the same time, doing well. They just need to find, a real good ball handler that can really facilitate the floor, can make players around her better and do well. They had a good season. Raven Justice doing a great job coming back a little in the beginning of it. Doing great. They just need to go out and support, do well, give them some motivation as fans. But I like how they did. Just going forward, just need to get more. Just need to fill in that role for Faith Cook. I gotta say for that.
Yeah.
And then for the men's side, it was fun with Savion Flag just kind of taking the season for us. But yeah, no, basketball was really fun. I remember going to a game, calling a game, and it was the last shot when I can't remember we played.
ACU.
Yeah, I think it was ACU.
Taking a shot that I wouldn't recommend. Taking a shot I would not recommend. But he made it, did well, got in, doing great. For men's basketball, able to go to the WAC, doing well. Had a slow season, really slow season, not going into the conference, but then able to get great seed in the conference. Just needed to be able to finish it out. Those were just tough games, losing against Seattle, losing against SFA, losing to GCU in that blowout. Games. But it's like, I don't. There's different fans base, because our fans, it's really, you just see student section, and that's really what supports. But then when you see these GCU, New Mexico, Seattle, they're packing it.
Yeah.
And it's a really big thing that, we need to do is be able to go out there. But I mean, for basketball, doing well, Flag doing great, losing them too. It's a little sad. But, for the future, basketball, we got 3 new recruits, one from JUCO College, another one from Canada, doing great and facilitate. I like the future.
Yeah.
I really do. We're doing really great, and Hooten doing great. You know, getting a good recruiting class.
Yeah.
Just need to do more. And just turnovers.
Yeah.
Turnovers, free throws. Free throws are the big thing for me because in college you should have those.
Yeah.
And being nationally ranked as the lowest free throw percentage in the country is not going to help you win games.
Wow, you said that with so much excitement.
No, that's definitely
being
not.
nationally ranked is that. No, it's not going to help you. But you know, it takes time.
Yeah,
that's
it
all
does.
you need to do.
It
You just need to.
Does take time,
take
especially.
shots.
I mean, that was kind of the talk and why we moved to the WAC. It was, you know, we didn't move for football, we didn't move for baseball, we moved for basketball. I mean, you know, New Mexico State went out and they won a game in March Madness. I forgot who they upset, but you know, they went out. New Mexico State, Grand Canyon, the two kind of like powerhouses of the conference, and us beating those teams both at one point here at home, and kind of just really showing, like, you know, Hooten's been here a long time. He's one of our longer tenured head coaches, and just kind of showing, you know, what he's able to do with a new conference. Like I said, a basketball conference. That's what this was known for. And we went out there. We had a top 4 finish. You know, we unfortunately couldn't get it go our way. Lost to Grand Canyon in the
WAC tournament.
The tournament, but still kind of showing, you know, because we were picked to finish. I think it was like 7th or 8th. I mean, we were not picked highly in that.
Predictions.
In that prediction, talking to Hooten during the season, you know, whenever they kind of caught their groove, he was like, I don't get how you could really, you know, pin our team against these or predict how we're going to do with teams we've never played. And I mean, he was exactly right. You know, we went out there in teams that we didn't really have much familiarity with, and went out there and really did well in doing so. So just realistically, being able to go out in a basketball conference and doing both on the men's side, doing well, and the women's side, you know, having that tremendous comeback. You know, having that huge loss streak to that huge win streak, and even making the conference tournament being such a huge deal. So both of those really just being big accomplishments in their own.
And that kind of puts to mind of like what our coaches are capable of, because Coach Justice took absence of leave, and that's when we had the losing streak, and then she came back, and then the woman just started playing out amazing.
Yeah.
And went on a big winning streak that qualified us for the WAC tournament. And it speaks volumes of our coaching staff for basketball.
Yeah, no, for sure. Kind of that was basketball season. Like I said, I feel like we talked about basketball the most because that was kind of, we were in the heart of it. You know?
Yeah, it was the heart of it.
Doing all our brackets and everything and figuring everything out, because I mean that's what the spring or the beginning of the spring is.
I'm still taking credit that ACU in the finals.
That's true. You did have that.
ACU.
Yeah, but then Scott had to brag about my
actual March Madness. Yes. However, I wasn't right, but I mean that was a lot, man. Going through those picks and everything.
It was a lot, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Basketball was fun this year.
Yeah, it was. Basketball was a lot of fun.
It was.
A lot of fun, and just like we said, go out and support your team at, you know, Johnson. It's free because I mean basketball. So yeah, it's fun. You get excited.
Again, it's free.
FREE.
Again, free.
And lastly, what we want to do here on the playbook, one of the first sports that'll come back in the fall will be volleyball. You know, volleyball is kind of one of those underrated sports that we have here at Sam Houston. And really just, you know, they've always been good. Brenda Gray being our longest tenured head coach at the school, been here since the 80s. This last year finishing 10-3 in conference, you know, again, falling short in the conference tournament. But really just, there's a lot of holes to be filled for volleyball. Ashley Lewis, who is one of your best players and captains last few years, graduated along with Breon Chaussee, as well as one of your better players in Morgan Yonda transferring to U of H, and kind of just finding those holes that need to be placed. You know, we have our main centerpiece in Hannah Baker kind of being able to go out there for our team defensively, you know, I believe she tied a school record in digs for one game and going out there and really performing.
She did. I think she did, yeah.
And so going out there and doing that, you know, we've still got, you know, Mackenzie Morvant, who really played well, and, you know, players like that who kind of fill the holes, as well as we've had a very high recruiting class for that sport as well. I don't know, did y'all go to any volleyball games this year?
I called 2 games, I believe. Yes, 2 games. So I did go to some volleyball games. Our volleyball team is really great, actually.
Yeah.
That's very underrated, like you mentioned. But yeah, no, I did go to some volleyball games, and they're pretty fun to go to.
Now I went to a couple myself. You know, defensively they're just great at it.
Yeah.
They just do well, just able to, you know, get the ball into where they can just spike it. It's just, they just do well. It's very entertaining. And, you know, able to finish, you know, number 1, but able to fall short to GCU, you know.
Yeah.
But they have a great future.
They do, and especially, you know, Alyssa Fielder being one of their up-and-coming players. She didn't get a lot of playing time this year, but she's from Huntsville. Was kind of a big recruit and coming in and doing so. And that, I mean, this last season, we beat SFA for the first time since like 2016 or in home. We swept them this season. I mean, it was a huge deal in doing so with that. And so just kind of that kind of wins, even though they didn't go far in the tournament, gives your team momentum. And like I said, Brenda Gray, she's always been here. She's been one of our best head coaches, you know, consistently winning stuff, but you know, taking that next step and being able to go to the national tournament, winning our conference and going forward is kind of the next big step. Because, you know, it's always been us and SFA SFA has always edged us out. And it's looking like the tide could turn for us and really kind of in this last season, in this last year, at least in the WAC. Because, I mean, that's the reality of it. You know, we won't be seeing SFA very much anymore. No. That's very weird to think about. This next year could be our last Piney Woods, or at least when it comes to football.
Man, what about the bragging rights?
Yeah, no, it's very weird to think about
rights?
that. You know, that's we're no longer going to be. I mean, we'll still be rivals with SFA. We always will be.
Yeah.
But realistically, you know, we're not in a conference with them anymore for the first time in I don't know how long.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be disappointing not be able to kick their butts in every sport. But yeah, it's gonna be really weird not to see SFA on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be weird, but I guess we'll probably try and find another rivalry in Conference USA.
Yeah, we'll see who the new SFA really is. But I mean that's kind of just, it's really weird to think about.
Yeah,
realistically, because that's what you're talking about. You know, you come to Sam Houston, you're like, all right, your first job is to dislike the purple school up north.
No purple for us.
Yeah, and so just kind of making that transition and stuff, and you know, seeing how we've performed these last 2 years. You know, and leaving the Southland, coming into the WAC, having one more season in the WAC, and then becoming
jumping ship,
and hopefully staying put for a while. You know, we didn't move conferences for like 30 years, and then we've like changed twice now in 3 years.
People were just like, let's move.
Just quick.
You know, I don't need, you know, the SEC calling us for some reason or something like that. You know, I don't see it realistically, but we need to stop moving conferences. This is it. We need to stay put for a while.
I think we will. Yeah. I think our program, I say minimum 10 years.
I would think we'll be there for a while, because I really think a big part of it too was all these teams moving conferences. Yeah. You know, UT and Oklahoma moving, like I said, to the SEC. Is that great?
Yeah, they moved to the SEC.
Yeah, and then, you know, a bunch of other schools following suit to fill them in, and then us being kind of one of those schools to fill everything else in.
Well, I think it also has to do with more schools moving conferences too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know Texas A&M and UT are trying to move.
No, that's what I'm saying. UT is going to the SEC to join them.
Yeah, okay. And I know U of H is moving to the Big Ten as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
there's just a lot of moves.
Yeah, I think like this last couple of years, every university was just looking into moving conferences.
It was that. It's now with the NIL deals. I mean, I'm seeing things that people are now having bidding wars for college players. So, I mean, the college sports that we kind of knew, I mean, I think there's just a new era of it.
There is. And now, like, college athletes being able to profit from their names, and then the transfer portal, it just opened a whole new world in college sports, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, which I'm here for.
I'm here for it, too.
Honestly,
yeah.
But I still think that the move for us was too quick, and we should have stayed at the WAC for a couple of years before moving. But obviously, we're not the ones that have the final decision.
We don't make those decisions.
We don't know best, right? We don't know.
So all we can do is we can go out, we can support our teams and all their sports and everything like that, and just kind of, you know, keep going.
Cheer them on. Go. It's free. It is free.
And that kind of just wraps it up here. Best of luck to everybody in their finals. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in each week. Thank you to everybody behind the cameras, getting everything done, working the technical side of stuff, because I know I can't do that stuff. I just get on here and talk. They do all the hard work, and I get on and make it look, you know.
We look pretty. They make us look pretty.
Exactly.
They make us look pretty, so we appreciate it, guys.
So thank you, everything to that. Thank you to our professor, Jonathan Reed, for putting on this show and really just letting us be able to do this. This was The Playbook.
Thanks, guys.